Welcome back to the Lo-Fi Hang. It's Mikhail Laxton, and this is the first episode of 2026. Let's get into it. All right. Everyone settle down. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All of those good seasons, blessings. I hope that 2025 was kind to you. And if not, I hope 2026 is amazing. And talking about that, this episode is for the artists, the independents, the DIY artists. It is a list of strategies, ideas, and experiments that I tried out to kind of move the needle for myself and my career in 2025. And I tried a few things out, and I got to admit, not to toot my own horn, but I kind of killed it with the list in particular. I tried some ideas out based on everything I was seeing in the industry, but also paying very close attention to DIY independent artists that were seeing a lot of success. So I've got a little script here that I want to read from because I don't want to go off on some random tangents. I've been doing that a lot lately. These are the couple of things that happened. I sold out a bunch of shows last year. I grew demand for my songs before they even released. I stopped chasing gigs. Now that, I can't wait to get to that point. That's really cool. And honestly, the biggest, most life-changing thing of all is that I actually started enjoying music again. So let's get into this list. Number one, let's start with the most recent thing. Selling out a 150-person show. I've never done that before. This was a show where there was no opener for it. It was just me. It was just my name selling it. I had a band with me. They obviously promoted the show throughout the year. Now, in Ottawa in particular, I'm used to selling out rooms of about 40 to 60 people consistently. Especially in the wintertime, it can be more. But I've never really hit that 100 mark before on my own. And so I had this idea that I wanted to book a show really early on in the year, and using the music that I knew that was coming for that year, I was going to use every release as a way to quietly promote that end of year show. So we ended up getting about a 9 months head start on this show, and every release that came out, I would do a little bit of promo about the current gigs that I had going on, but then I would always throw in a bunch of promotion for the gig that was happening in December. By the time December rolled around, people didn't need convincing. They already knew about it. And the best thing, the coolest thing that happened is that there was 2 weeks out from the show, about a week and a half out from the show, I got the email from the NAC saying, we've sold out officially. We have sold 150 tickets, no free giveaways, no nothing. That was amazing. And the week of the show, and even the day of the show, I was getting texts and emails and DMs on Instagram and all that stuff from people that didn't buy tickets early enough, and they wanted to come see the show. They were meaning to get tickets, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, we're sold out, which is a good problem to have, right? So that was my first ever single bill, my name on it, sellout show that was over 100 people, and we did 150. So that was really cool. All I did is I just gave it the longest run-up I possibly could. That long-term thinking made a huge difference. Number two, building demand for songs before release. I wanted to give some power to my fans and my listeners over the music that I was putting out. I wanted to get some data on what people enjoyed coming out of me. Posted a TikTok of a couple of demo sessions. I took some snippets from that, put them on Instagram, and TikTok blew up, okay? I put a song, just the demo audio and a video of a song called I Like the Way. There was no hype. It was not studio polished, and it absolutely took off, especially in New Zealand. So big shout out to the whānau down in New Zealand. And look, the song was a banger. That played a huge role. I don't want people to gloss over that. It's not about the strategy that gets the song. It's like, no, the song is the knife. The song is the thing that will do the cutting, and that's what we have to do. But if we hold on to those songs, we don't release them, and we keep them to ourselves, or we wait too long to release it, then the knife might be blunt. You know, it might not hit as well as it could. What I ended up doing was I had 2 releases ready to put out before I Like the Way. But when I released I Like the Way, the snippet on TikTok, and that blew the lid off everything, we were like, oh, okay, obviously we need to put this out first. The demand was already there for it. People were literally in my DMs every single day that this song wasn't out since posting a snippet of it, asking, where is this song? When is it coming out? When is it coming out? When it landed, it hit, it spread like wildfire, and that was really cool. So that shift really, really moved the needle for me. Now, the next thing, going where I was wanted. Oh boy. In 2024, I barely toured. I barely did shows. I didn't really release any new music. I just had a really lackluster, boring, quiet year. In according to the industry standards, I knew this. I disappeared. I didn't get into a bunch of conferences that I applied for. I didn't get into any festivals, and I screwed myself over for 2025. I didn't get into any festival. I think I got into one because I knew, I was like, I didn't do enough to pique people's interest for 2025. So I did not want to be endlessly touring in 2025. I didn't want to be begging venues to put me on.
Man, I swear I'm good. Please, just give me a chance.
Places that weren't paying attention to me, that didn't know about me, you know, which is a lot of places still. And I also didn't want to be away from my family for a whole bunch. What I ended up doing was I kind of just relaxed. January and February and even March, I kind of relaxed. I knew I had a song coming. It was called Dirty. 'Cause I'm a little bit dirty. I knew it was a good song. And when it landed, people knew it was a good song. And it immediately piqued people's interest. Shortly after that, I think it was the first couple of weeks of March, I booked 5 really cool shows, a couple of house concerts, a couple of venues, and I did 0 work on it. They all reached out to me, hey, heard this song, would really love you to come to this. Then I put myself out there once another song had released, for the first song, I Like the Way, from my album, and all of a sudden I started getting a lot of offers like all around the country. But I got 2 shows booked on one weekend in Halifax. And I was like, I don't know anybody in Halifax. I don't think anybody knows me in Halifax. These 2 venues reached out and they said, look, we really love your music. I think our people, our guests would love it. Come out and do that. And so I took a flight out. I spent a weekend in Halifax. I played 2 sold-out shows. I had the best time. I met so many people, and it was there that I realized something that I'll speak about later, this big shift in mindset on how I go about music. The coolest thing that happened is before the shows on that weekend, Laura Simpson from Side Door wanted to do an interview, and she said, what's your biggest advice for people? And it just sort of slipped into my head, and I was just like, you know what? Something that I feel like is really working for me at the moment is building demand first. We get it in our heads as artists to, we got these songs and we got to go play them for people. Yes, but put them out. Let them do a bit of work for you first. Do your job in promoting it. If you believe in the song, push it, okay? But instead of going out and getting too antsy and wanting to book gigs all the time and book gigs for every weekend of the year, just wait. Wait for people to come to you. I know it sounds counterintuitive to hustle culture, but believe me, it's more fulfilling. And instead of looking back on your year going,
Man, so many people turned me down this year. They have no idea what they're missing out.
Blah, 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 blah. Instead, you get to sit back, relax, and say, man, I got a lot of offers this year, and I went to a lot of places this year. And you know what? I tell you what, when you go where you're wanted and you pay attention to the people that want you, that love you, that are pulling money out of their pocket and putting it into yours, those trips become adventures. You start making new friends. You start having these little side quests. Like literally, I had a bunch of side quests out in Halifax, and it was amazing. Go where you're wanted. Go where you're appreciated. Stop banging on the doors of people that do not give a about you. Stop doing that. They don't care. This even worked when I went and visited back in Australia. I booked a couple of gigs. Some of them were last minute, and they turned out really well. Little promotion. I could have done better, but the music had done the work. This is a bit more of an industry standard piece of advice, but it really worked. I tried the releasing a song every 6 to 8 weeks. We did 6 and 7 weeks. This really worked. Releasing songs every 6 to 8 weeks re-engaged my existing fans that had kind of fell asleep when I fell asleep and didn't put out music for a year. The music that I put out I was excited about, and they matched my energy. My followers matched my energy, and like I said before, one of the videos and one of the songs went kind of viral. I gained a whole new fan base, okay? It gave them more touch points. Every time I put out a song, they were seeing me. There was something tangible for them to go and consume from me. Another thing that I did was every time a song released, I tried to organize a show around that time to kind of just mark the event. And having something to release around that time also helped me to book, to give the venues a reason to book me. So that worked out really well. And that's something I'll continue to keep doing. There was one big caveat. The songs were better. Which brings me to my next point, writing simpler, catchier, and better songs. Let me preface this by saying, if you're somebody that doesn't really care about that, and you're happy being where you're at with your music career, that's totally fun. Do you, man? But if you're somebody, and I have to say this, if you're somebody that complains about people not paying attention to you enough and you're trying everything, try writing better songs. I don't mean to be a dick, but literally try writing better songs. You cannot afford to have the attitude by saying,
man, no one wants to hear me, no one wants to listen to me, what's going on, I'm amazing, I put my blood, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this.
If you're trying to get people to pay attention to you and engage with your music, you need to make more engaging music. Try writing better songs. Literally, just please try it. Get over your ego. Please try it. You can't afford to ignore the science of what people like, how our brains work, how our ears work. My goodness. Write catchy tunes, man. Okay? Put your best foot forward. Let's go. This leads into another thing. In 2023, I released an album that I'd worked so GD hard on. I agonized over the mixing process. I agonized over the mastering. Man, I cannot tell you how miserable I was trying to promote that thing. Promoting it and creating content for it was just an absolute shit show. It was really bad. That's where I started to become incredibly miserable with my music career. I wasn't enjoying doing this anymore. And at the end of 2024, I realized that. I didn't know it until I sat back and just chilled out and was like, wow, I'm miserable doing this. I need to change some things up. Otherwise, I don't want to stop doing music, but if this is how it's going to make me feel, I gotta do something about it. So I did. And one of the biggest things I did was I stopped caring so much. I knew that I had to stop caring so much about perfecting the songs. I'm not saying don't care. I'm not saying don't put your heart and soul into it. But stop caring so much and stop agonizing over it to a point where that you can never get that time back. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying don't care. I'm not saying don't put your heart into it. I'm saying stop putting everything on one song. And when I say that, stop putting all the pressure on a song. Stop putting that pressure on yourself. Holy moly, that's insane. I've been having so much fun because I don't worry about that anymore. And that helped me remember why I did music. It's because I love it. Number 8, self-producing at home. I got the intuition that I should start producing myself a couple of years ago. I haven't produced anything that I put out up until my last record. I used this as an experiment, as an opportunity. Thankfully, my label agreed to it, and I said, look, I want to get a producer to make sure everything comes out well and to the label's liking or whatever. But I also want to have the freedom to take the songs away and do my thing on it. I know a lot of producers out there that will not do that. They would refuse to do that. But I explained it to my friend Jim Bryson, and he totally understood it. And, he did what I basically allowed him to, and he allowed me to do what I wanted to do, and I tried not to overstep, but I also used the process to learn as much as I could from Jim, from somebody that I respect. I love his sound. I love his sonics. I love the results that he gets in the studio. And I tried to transfer that into my little humble studio here. Ideas came faster. Sessions flowed better. They were more inspired when I did it this way. I could experiment without pressure. And it wasn't clinical, and I got a really beautiful result. What I did really enhanced and worked well with what Jim did. So we brought something together that was really, really beautiful and powerful, I think. Social media and shows is the next point. Social media and shows around releases. I mentioned this earlier. Every time I had a release, I tried to organize a little show around it, whether it was a house show, a show done in my own home, a show done at a venue, something around that time to just help with promotion, always using that as an opportunity to get more content. I would just say, if you want to do the bare minimum, just do videos of you in action. Do videos of you doing your thing, singing on stage, singing in your room, writing a song, trying to figure something out. Go live, like have fun with it, man. Seriously, have fun with it. That's what I did. Especially when it comes to social media. I know a lot of you out there that are my age and older don't really want to do that. I just find I suck at organization and time management. I allowed myself to not do a strategic, like, I'm posting this on this day, blah, blah. I didn't know what I was posting. I knew I was posting on those days, but ideas would come to me at the last minute. Some of them worked, some of them didn't, but the things that did worked really, really well. Have fun with it. And final thought, takeaway, if I had to boil 2025 down into one core strategy, it would be this. I had this thought earlier about using music to build community. There's just this really beautiful thought that I think is beautiful. You're an artist, right? And all of a sudden you put on this show. Now let's just put you on the side for a second. In this city, there's 155 people that are finishing work, but they're all connected because every single one of them has tickets to come see your show. They've got tickets to come see Mikhail Laxton. They all get in this one room, and then later on down the track, they get in another room. And some of those people get in another room, and sooner or later, it gets to this thing where they're like, hey, I saw you at that Mikhail Laxton show a couple of years ago. Oh, I saw you there just recently at that show, actually. Blah, blah, blah. There's this little community that starts to build. There's people that come up to you after the show, want you to sign their records. They want to chat to you. You give out numbers. You talk about their interest in music. Some of them are musicians. I've got a phone list and a text list of people that I've met at shows last year that I want to reach out to and be like, come to my house and jam. I think using music for good, that's all I want to do. I hope I do something good with my music. I don't want it to just be, hey, look at me, because I am an attention whore and I get my kicks out of that. But I also want it to be something powerful and beautiful and meaningful. It's something to bring to the world and give to the world. And I think I want to use music to help me be present with people and help people to be present with each other and to build community. Yeah, I love that idea. It might be very optimistic, but I'd rather give it a go, than not. So if you're an artist watching this, I hope there's something here that helps you in this podcast. I hope there's something that helps you simplify, breathe, and enjoy the process of creating music again. This is the Lo-Fi Hang. My name is Mikhail Laxton. I hope you enjoyed this. Till next time, take care.